Alright, so the Butler Bulldogs played the Vanderbilt Commodores on Tuesday night, and it was Butler did everything they could to lose this game after doing such a great job in trying to blow Vanderbilt away. And it was Butler just they did really well again, like they did in the Princeton game. They take a big lead, a double-digit lead, and then they get content and start making stupid passes and doing stupid shots, and just got really conservative, and it really bit their butts. They were up by 14 with just under 8 minutes to go, and then Vanderbilt started coming all the way back. Vanderbilt actually took the lead in the last minute by a point. Butler grabbed the lead back. Vanderbilt had the ball. Butler fouled them. Vanderbilt hit the first free throw, missed the second. Got their own rebound in the final 10 seconds, had a chance to win the game, but traveled. So Butler got the ball, had a chance to win at the buzzer, and missed. And then in overtime, Butler won the game. Kyle Marshall came alive in overtime. He was a beast. In the last couple minutes of the regulation and then overtime, Kyle Marshall took over after Kellen Dunham had asserted himself as the player of the game, up until that point. But Kyle Marshall in those last several minutes really pushed himself above Kellen Dunham's performance and caused him to be the player of the game. Vanderbilt thought, and I knew they would, and I knew we weren't going to walk over them, and I knew when we had that 14-point lead it wasn't over. Vanderbilt was going to come back, but we held on, and we prevailed. This team's going to give me a heart attack if they keep it up, because this is 2 games in a row now where we tried to give a big lead away. So anyway, Eric Fromm had 4 points on 1 of 6 shooting. He was 0 of 3 behind the 3-point line. Kyle Marshall 26 points on 11 of 15 shooting. It's an amazing performance right there. Cameron Woods 10 points on 3 of 6 shooting. He was another guy that played amazing. His defensive presence really altered what Vanderbilt could do, and it made a big difference with him out on the floor, especially with his 9 rebounds and his 4 blocks. Alex Barlow had 5 points on 2 of 4 shooting. He was 1 of 2 behind the 3-point line. Kellen Dunham had 16 points on 6 of 15 shooting. He was 3 of 7 behind the 3-point line. Free throws, he was 1 of 3, which is not like him because he was automatic last year, and for him to be shooting like this is kind of disappointing. So hopefully he gets that figured out. Devontae Morgan had 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting. He was 0 of 1 behind the 3-point line. Elijah Brown had 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting. He was 0 of 2 behind the 3-point line. Jackson Aldridge had 7 points on 2 of 7 shooting. He was 2 of 3 behind the 3-point line. Rene Castro had 4 points on 1 of 1 shooting. He was 1 of 1 behind the 3-point line. Nolan Berry played a minute but didn't score, didn't even shoot. And Andrew Travis, he did great defensively in stretches when we needed him to. He had 7 points on 2 of 2 shooting. Team stats, Butler shot 46.9% from the field. Vanderbilt shot 48.1% from the field. We actually had 10 more shots in this game than they did. And that's not because of rebounding, I'll tell you that right now. 3-point percentage, Butler was 36.8%, Vanderbilt was 31.2%. Free throw percentage, Butler was 58.1%, 18 out of 31. Vanderbilt was 66.7%. We've got to work on free throw shooting. Rebounds, Butler had 36, Vanderbilt had 38. We had more offensive rebounds, 13 to their 10. So almost even there basically when you look at rebounds. Turnovers, we had 10, they had 19, and that's why we had 10 more shots than them, is because of, not because we out-rebounded them, because we didn't in this game, but because they kept turning the ball over. 19's a lot of turnovers, and luckily it was them and not us, because if it was us, we would have lost. So, but anyway, yes, Butler wins this game 85-77 in overtime, led 38-30 at halftime, and like I said, early in the second half took the big lead and held on to it until the last 8 minutes, and then blew it, but dominated in overtime, and that's how we won the game. So, good win. Vanderbilt's still not as good as what they were, but they're getting there, and but it's a good win nonetheless. We finally go on the road on Saturday. We play at Ball State, state rival team, so hopefully we can get the win there. It's not going to be easy whatsoever, even though Ball State's not the greatest. It's still going to be a rough game, so we're going to have to go in there and prove that we can win on the road. But anyway, that's your wrap up. Butler's 3-0 now, and you guys have a good one. I will see you next time.